We took a Wonderkid squad and gave them the minimum work rate possible, and the results were interesting, so we're flipping that on its head today. And that same squad has got the maximum work rate. Let's jump into it. Yes, we're back with Ebbsfleet United, and last time you were here with Ebbsfleet and the work rate experiment, they had minimum work rate, 1 for work rate across the board. This time, as you can see there, we have got 20s all the way down. The same team is here all the way through, 90 current ability, 200 potential ability. Now, we have had to go through and modify some attributes because work rate, of course, does count towards current ability. That being said, because they've got a higher work rate, I expect them to have a better time of reaching their potential and winning trophies. So that's about all there is to say, really. Now, they've all got a future transfer to Saudi Arabia. Again, it's 100 million. I'd already made this before people in the comments of the previous video have mentioned that there is like a 2.1 billion max amount of money you can have in the bank, and it sort of resets itself and recalibrates and messes up. So they won't have a huge influx of money at the end, which is what I've always thought they did. So yeah, going forward, we will look at that and try and improve things. That being said, there we go. Future transfer sorted in the books. Ebbsfleet as a club have a transfer ban until 2045. Dennis Kutrieb, he lasted till January last time in the first season. Ebbsfleet didn't get promoted in the first season, I don't believe. Spoilers all over the shop, but we're going to jump through 1 year and see, have they got promoted at the first time of asking this time? But before we do that, let's have a look at the season preview, and they are 13-8 on, or 8-13 on odds, fractions. Yeah. Every video now, it seems, I get stumped by this. Someone said put it in decimals, much easier. Not for me. So, there you go. Me, do you think they're going to go up? Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 2 is the only one who is in the immediate Dream 11. Let's jump forward a year and find out how they're getting on. Oh, and Ebbsfleet missed out in the playoffs. They came 5th. Chesterfield going up. If we look at the playoffs, look at the first round, and we look at the tree. Well, he lost to AFC Field, who then lost to Dagenham, who then lost to Chesterfield. So it was not Ebbsfleet's season, unfortunately. So Dennis Kutrieb has managed to remain in charge. Fair play to Dennis. And if we have a look now, look at this international duty. They're on international duty with England under 19s. And would you look at this? 118 current ability for Ebbsfleet centre-back 3. 99 here for centre-back 5 and winger 1. Probably didn't play much. 1 appearance off the bench, and that's why the wingers aren't playing, because they don't play wingers. They play a 3-5. They play like a 3-5-2. Diaper up there. Don't know why he's in there. There's Brunst. He's not very good either, is he? The rest of the players are very good, and they will be getting better and better. Surely, at the second time of asking, they're going to go up. If we look at the if we look at the season preview, they are now 1-91, 91-1. On to go up as champions, and their entire team is in the Media Dream 11, understandably so. I can't believe how high they've got after just 1 season. Unbelievable. 118, loads in the 1-teens as well, nearly a full 11. So 1 more year, let's go. And they did go up as champions, absolutely annihilating the league there. 108 points, 79 points was Accrington Stanley, who finished in 2nd. So Ebbsfleet went up by as champions, and they won by 29 points. That is insane, if you ask me. They only lost 4 times all season, winning 33 of their games. In terms of the award winners, the top goal scorer was Ebbsfleet centre-forward 1 with 23, but Ebbsfleet centre-forward 3 also got 22, and Ebbsfleet centre-forward 2 got 20. So they are sharing the goals around. As you can see, 10 appearances off the bench, so not too bad. All 3 of the forwards getting over 20 goals. And they do play 2 up top. So, you know, it's understandable why they got so many goals shared around. I mean, unfortunately, the wingers are probably not going to be playing much, but, you know. And do you know what? Not as much growth as you would have thought. Like, loads of them in the 120s now. Like, more than were in the teens last time and got into the 120s. But goalkeepers in 127, and then everyone else is below. And considering how much they grew in the first season, nearly 30 attribute points, to grow less than 10 in a season, it's a bit underwhelming. That being said, you can't get 30s every single year, so it is what it is, isn't it, really? I am impressed with how they're getting on, and I think loads of them are going to get to 200. They're in League 2 now, and what's League 2 saying? I would say almost certainly. Season preview, yeah. The media think they're going to be 91-1 on to go up back to back. And I would say almost certainly the Media Dream 11 is completely full with Ebbsfleet players. So without further ado, let's jump through to 2026 and see if they've gone up. Rewind, bit of further ado. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So many of you have subscribed recently. So many more views on the channel. The channel is just in such an ascendancy right now. Let's keep that momentum going. And I would say I'm pushing for 5,000 subscribers. Honestly, if this momentum, by the time this video comes out, I will be there, which is insane. This is going to be before Christmas. I'll get there. Like, at the start of the year, 188 subscribers. To be at 5,000 is unbelievable. So thank you very much if you subscribed. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. Soppy public service announcements out of the way. Let's go to 2026, shall we? Oh, another 100-point haul for Ebbsfleet, and they've gone up as champions with Wrexham, Wimbledon, and Cheltenham. But it's all about Ebbsfleet, top of the pile. Only 77 scored this time. In terms of the awards, Ebbsfleet centre forward 2 did get 23 goals in 44 games. Centre forward 3 also got 20 goals. Paul Mullin found himself in and amongst it. How did Ebbsfleet centre forward 1 get on? Just a 15. But to be fair, 28 of those appearances were from the bench. They decided to play the other 2 as main strikers. This guy was your Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, shall we say, the super sub. But they went up, they're champions, and they're in League One. In terms of the players, well, we've got one player in the 140s. That's Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1. This guy. It's always weird why it's always Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1, number 1. But, you know, it is what it is. Maybe goalkeeper 2 will get picked in another experiment. We'll see. Because it's shared around with the other players, but there's a lot more squad rotation with the other players, I would have thought. I mean, Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 2, how many games has he actually played? I mean, to be fair, he's played quite a few. For a sub-goalkeeper, he's not done too bad, has he? I mean, he's capped at the under-21 level, is Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1, which is absolutely phenomenal. Maurizio Sarri in charge of England. What's happened there then? Gareth Southgate's resigned, having not won a major trophy, and Sarri's been in charge for nearly 2 years. Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1 and Ebbsfleet centre forward 3 are both in the under-21s. Need to sort out the face pack for some of these guys, don't I? Anyway, so we've got Ebbsfleet who are now in League One. If we look at season preview, yeah, 25-1 on to go up as champions. Quite a few players who are not in the Media Dream 11, actually players that are better than our guys, have made it into the Media Dream 11. So they're basically very strong League One contenders, but that's not to say they are definitely going to go up. Dennis Kutrib is an icon. Favoured personnel is defensive midfielder 1. Go on, lad. But old Dennis, he's been here for 6 years and he's got them from the Vanarama National all the way up into League One. Can he keep it going? And can we get to the Championship at the first time of asking? Oh, they can! And how tight was it? 85 points won it for them. Champions are Ebbsfleet. 68 goals. They beat Coventry on goal difference by 2 goals and 1 point. So it wasn't goal difference. But look at that. 85, 84, 83. 2 teams on 82. So how did Ebbsfleet do in the final game of the season? Right, here we go. The final game of the season. Ebbsfleet won the final game of the season. So I can't remember who else was in the mix. Coventry, Reading, Plymouth and Oxford. So Plymouth won, Oxford won, Reading lost. Coventry, Plymouth and Oxford all won and Reading lost. If you look, Reading, they got promoted via the playoffs in the end, but they are finished on 83 points. Had they won that, they'd have gone up as champions and Coventry would have had to have gone through via the playoffs. Ebbsfleet would have been second. But because of Reading losing on the final day of the season, Dennis Kutrib wins another trophy in charge of Ebbsfleet United. That's the league title again. That's back-to-back promotions, and we're now heading off to the Championship. Before we look at the season preview, let's have a quick look over the squad, and look at this. 156 for goalkeeper 1, loads in the 140s and the 130s, a couple that aren't playing much down here. I mean, look at this, 104, these have never played. They don't play wingers, though. I bet they're still playing the same tactic. Of course, the old Dennis has not changed his tactic, so the wingers have not played much at all. In terms of work rate, a few have gone down to 19 and even one has gone to 18. Ebbsfleet winger 1 can actually play wing back right as well. Not played much though. But look at that, Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1. He's not been capped by England yet. John Stone's gone to Al Nassr, eh? £27 million. 4 Ebbsfleet players in the under-21s. It's centre forward 3, defensive midfielder 1, centre back 2 and goalkeeper 1. Of course, goalkeeper 1 is there. Like I say, 156, and he's a championship goalkeeper. He's far too good for the championship in my eyes. If you have a look at the championship then to see how the media are predicting things will go. 16-1 on. Goalkeeper 1 is in the media dream 11, along with centre-back 2, defensive midfielder, centre-forward. The 4 players who are actually in the England under-21 team are actually in the media dream 11 for the championship. So at the first time of asking, can Ebbsfleet get promoted to the Premier League? Oh, they did not. Oh, they didn't. Sunderland going up as champions. Bristol City on the same points. Up as automatically promoted as well. Ebbsfleet 2 points further back. You know what we're going to do, gang? Firstly, Ebbsfleet lost to Southampton 3-0 over 2 legs in the playoff semi-finals. But is that the whole story? It is. Ebbsfleet did win the final game of the season. So they did get up to 85 points from 82. Bristol City and Sunderland. Bristol City won against Sunderland, to be fair. Sunderland were already up as champions then. Sunderland were already promoted. Bristol City, had they won by a bigger margin, one more goal, they'd have actually gone up as champions. Ryan Mason in charge of Bristol City. David Moyes in charge of Sunderland, eh? Ebbsfleet finishing 3rd. Disappointing for them. The season preview then for the next season is 91-1 on, and they've absolutely ripped through the championship media dream 11. And if we go and look at the actual squad, I'm sure we're going to have some very impressive sort of totals in terms of their current ability. Well, all the players that have improved massively are still on 20 work rate. Few of them who are in the 130s and 120s and that drop into 19s and 18s. Still phenomenal work rate though, so it's not really too much of an issue. Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1 has not been capped by England yet. Is he in the squad? He's not. No one's in the squad from Ebbsfleet. 165 current ability. I mean, quite a few in the 150s, a lot in the 150s to be fair. All Premier League quality, these players. I mean, if you look at the polygons, I mean, they're starting to really round out into being absolutely world-class talents, and they are going to be world-class talents. They're in the 150s at 22. I'm telling you now, we're going to hit plenty of them in the 180s. I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a lot of trophies coming to Ebbsfleet in the near future, but we've got to get up into the Premier League first, so let's go to 2029. Oh my God, they've done it again. They finished 3rd. They've missed out by the playoffs again. This time, Bournemouth and Forest. Goal difference separating them on 90 points. Ebbsfleet getting 89 this season, which would have been enough for being champions last season. They went 4 points better, and they still finished 3rd. Right, you know what's happening again. Profile. Losing to Norwich in the semi-finals of the playoffs. And they lost to Birmingham. On the final day of the season, they lost to Birmingham. They were 3-0 down. They win this game, they're up as champions. Still 91-1 on. You can't get a better set of odds than that, can you? Dennis Katrib has failed twice in the championship. The players 174, loads in the 150s now, still in the high 150s. Still, he's finally been capped by England. Fantastic. Valverde has called him up, and there's actually a couple of them. Centre forward 3 has got 1 cap, no goals. Centre back 2 has also had a cap. But I feel like until he gets to the Premier League, they're not going to kick on anymore. And I'm actually disappointed that they're all at 23 years old and they're still in the 150s. You'd think they'd maybe be sneaking themselves up a little bit higher. Let's go to 2030 then. Well, Fulham have gone up as champions, 91 points. Ebbsfleet behind Bristol City again. This time, though, they did win via the playoffs. Well, a 2-0 win against Sunderland in the final. Centre forward 3 and centre forward 1 with the goals. And drawing against Sunderland on the final day. And Bristol City won. So again, throwing it away, nearly getting automatic promotion. Should have got automatic promotion. Mikey Moore stopped them getting automatic promotion. Then they did go and win the playoffs. So fair play to them. Well, they're in the Premier League. Finally, the season preview of the Premier League. They think they're going to finish 8th. And that's fair enough. Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1 is in between the sticks. Nobody else is in the media dream 11. And that's because they're all stuck in the 150s. And are they going to get any better? They're at 24 now. Players will continue to increase up until like 27, 28. So I'm thinking we're going to hit 160s, maybe into the 170s, but I can't see it getting much more unless this move to the Premier League is all about the level they're playing at. So we're going to go through just another year to 2031, see how they're getting on their first season in the Premier League. But look at this, 19 for some of the work rates, dropping. Well, Arsenal won the league by a point against Liverpool. Ebbsfleet came 14th. Below where they expected to. Graham Potter's in charge. They sacked Dennis Katrib. Sacked as manager of Ebbsfleet due to the club's poor league position on the 14th of the 12th. Well, because the season's ticked over, we can't check past positions, sadly. Graham Potter's coming to take charge. And a couple of good draws early on. A couple of wins. I mean, a horrific run of November and December. And things did turn around in the new year. They did start to stop the rot, and they did get quite a few wins. So they managed to save themselves. They finished 14th. Can they progress further? For the amount of money they've got in the bank, the facilities aren't good enough. Graham Potter, he's come in, and will he be able to do a job here? I think almost certainly he will. And there you go. Ebbsfleet centre forward 1 is good. Look at how much they've all leapfrogged. 170, high 160s, because they're playing in the Premier League, much higher competition. 180 for Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1, 27 caps for England. Marcelinho's in charge, and as you can see, loads of players for Ebbsfleet in the England team. So they've all improved a bit further. What is the media saying for this season? I think they're going to finish 6th. Well, what we're going to do now is we are going to jump through 3 years, because we do want to accelerate this a little bit, because we have been going seasonally, and this video will be rumbling on. So let's go through 3 years now to 2034. Finishing 14th in the following season, 9th. Outside of Europe, unfortunately, but they did finish 9th, with Tottenham winning the league on 76 points. Very low points total. Everton, Leeds and Sunderland going down. The season after, Europa League football for Ebbsfleet. No Conference League qualification. Clearly the Conference League qualifiers from the previous season have won the Conference League. City have won the league again over Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool and Tottenham making up the top 5. Chelsea ahead of Ebbsfleet, who are in 7th. And then continuing, moving up the charts, 6th for Ebbsfleet. Chelsea down in 7th, getting Champions League football, probably from a Europa League win. But last time with work rate, we did only get a Carabao Cup and a couple of Europa League wins. Well, are we going to get that? Are we going to get anything that high? Because we're here in 2034, the senior squad. If you look here, 197 for Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1, amazing stuff. A couple in the 180s, quite a few in the 170s, so they have really kicked on. It's 28 years old though for them. I don't think we're going to get much higher. If we do, we're going to start falling away in a few years as well. So we're going to jump another 3 years now. And I'm hoping that we can actually get a little bit of success. Who will be in charge though? Graham Potter resigned. Mikel Arteta came in and he's been sacked due to the club's poor league position on the 21st of May. Graham Potter's the England manager. Okay, so they think the season preview, they think Ebbsfleet are going to finish 2nd. So they are underachieving. The problem is now is you've got winger 2 and winger 4. The wingers are crap, aren't they? That's the issue. You've got people coming in now who are wanting to play wingers, and they're rubbish. I mean, okay, 165 for Ebbsfleet winger 3. He's kicked on quite a bit. Defensive midfielder. He's played loads. Why has he been playing as a defensive midfielder? I don't know. The AI is just an enigma, isn't it? Another 3 years, 2037. So Europa League football for getting 6th. That's where we were last time, and then they've gone one step further. Champions League football, finishing 5th. Then finishing 4th, Champions League football again. And then 3rd, Champions League football again. Newcastle are top of the pile. And in terms of trophies, they have won a Europa League in 2035. Arne Slot has come to the club and won the Europa League. They beat Athletic Bilbao in 2035. And that's the first trophy under his belt. And in the same season, they also won the Carabao Cup. So it's very similar, isn't it? In terms of success, work rate max or work rate minimum, they've got the same level of success up to this point. Will we get a 2nd Europa League? I don't know. Will we get a Premier League? Again, I don't know. They've upped the facilities. They've got a hell of a lot of money. It's all about the prize money that's coming in now because they're doing quite well. The season preview, they think they're going to finish 2nd. They think Newcastle are going to finish top. They've got Raul, who's a centre-back for Newcastle. Duarte, another regen right-back who looks filthy. Ritter, who is, I mean, filthy, doesn't even come close to it. He is disgustingly good. Lopez, £11 million they paid for him. Ryan Mason's in charge of Newcastle. Look at this. 197, 196, 192. 3 players up there in the 190s. They paid £45.5 million for him, £28 million for him, and £11 million for him. Literally paid about less than £100 million for 3 world-class talents. Like, so 3 of the best players in the world. It's staggering. Staggering. And they've won the Premier League for the last 2 years in a row. Not surprising, really. In terms of managers, Ryan Mason's been here for 5 years. He's won Champions Leagues with them as well. 3 Champions Leagues. I mean... Oh, Ebbsfleet getting to the Champions League final here. Runner up to Newcastle in the 35-36 season. Come on, Ebbsfleet. You've got a couple of years in you to get things done before your players really start to fall away. In terms of their current ability, let's have a look at at 31 years young. We've got like 4 of them in the 180s, quite a few in the 170s, and a couple in the 160s. Ebbsfleet goalkeeper 1 is at 199. Abel Ferreira is in charge. Loads of players for Ebbsfleet who are in the England squad. Who won a World Cup in 2034. Quite a few of them will have won the World Cup with England. Fair play to them. Well, should we go through to 2045 then and see how Ebbsfleet got on in the remaining 8 years of the Premier League? There we go. In third was where we were last here, and then he's dropped down to fourth the following season. Newcastle winning it again. 99 points, just the 1 defeat. Then Ebbsfleet dropping down to sixth. Europa League football only. Oh, then 13th. Then 11th, so making a bit of a resurgence. Are they going to stay up? I don't think so. I really don't think so. 16th in 41-42. The writing's on the wall. And there you go. 19th, 33 points. They could have potentially stayed up with a win very near the end of the season. Newcastle winning the league once more. Have they got any more world-class talents? Cesar Lopez is still there. I mean, the other guys, Xavier Ritter, he's down in the 184s because he's 34 years old now. They've got, look at Dylan Owen. Oh my God, they got him from Sefton Druids. What? How much did they pay for this guy? Oh, he came through the youth academy. But anyway, Ebbsfleet relegated there in the 42-43 season. The 44-45 season, Ebbsfleet finishing in 9th and then 20th. They've managed to maintain themselves in the Championship. Connor Cody is in charge. They've only got 1 Carabao Cup and 1 Europa League. So they've done about the same as the team with no work rate. So work rate, whilst we think it's one of the most important attributes, it doesn't look like it has been. It doesn't look like it has been that important at all. It felt really promising when they were all progressing at a reasonable level. And I feel like the success in the lower leagues was better, but they haven't reached their potential anywhere near like I thought they would do, which is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. As you see, work rate slipped down for quite a lot of them, but it will do in their mid to late 30s. So disappointing for Ebbsfleet. They're about to go to Saudi Arabia for too much money, so all the money's going to disappear for Ebbsfleet, but I have simulated forward. Shall we see if they can get back to the Premier League? Okay, so they're not in the Premier League. Fulham have been winning the Premier League. We're in 2072 as well, ladies and gentlemen, so we have come forward to 2072, and I don't think they've been back in the Premier League. In terms of the Championship, they've just been relegated. Ebbsfleet have just been relegated. In terms of competitions, if we have a quick look at the domestic leagues, they have been back into the Premier League, but it's only been for 1 season at a time, and then they've come straight back down. Look at that, 11 points there. Just abysmal. And they're going down again. They're going down from the Premier League. So they're going down from the Championship, and they're going to be in League One next season. Well, it's been a very disappointing experiment, to be perfectly honest. Ebbsfleet, they didn't kick on. The work rate, it didn't happen for them, did it? And I'm very surprised at that, because I thought work rate was amazing. I mean, I guess maybe for results and maybe on the pitch performances, it's really good. But in terms of development, it didn't make a difference. The players didn't get much better, and they didn't win any more trophies. They actually won less. So I mean, some of that's down to chance. But I mean, they both won it. Both experiments, we won a Carabao Cup and a Europa League. So if you've not seen the other one, spoiler. But I am absolutely shocked at the results here. Let me know what you thought of the results in the comments down below, because like I'm speechless. I thought work rate was going to absolutely blow it out the water, a bit like Determination did. If you haven't seen those 2 videos, the Min or Max Determination, I suggest you go and watch them, because they were very informative. They did offer up very, very different results. Let me know what other attributes you'd like me to do this with. I think next we're going to go with professionalism, because that has been suggested in the comments on previous videos, and it will mean that I don't have to mess around with current ability. The players can be exactly the same, and then professionalism minimum or professionalism maximum. So yeah, that's been suggested in the comments on previous videos, so I will be bringing that one next. But after, let me know what you think. Any other experiments or ideas that you've got, I am all ears. And as I said earlier, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video and all that good stuff, because for some reason the channel's blowing up and I could not be happier. So let's keep the momentum going, gang. But most importantly, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and watch this video that I've put up there, or YouTube's put up there. See you soon.